This is One-on-One. About to introduce you to a first-timer here in One-on-One, Dr. Ross London, Professor of Justice Studies at Berkeley College. Good to see you, Doctor.
Thank you. Good to be here.
We'll talk about the work you're doing at Berkeley in a second, but you have an interesting background. Go, talk about it.
Well, I came to Berkeley. This is a second career for me. I had a long experience in law, really all centered in Newark. With a large law firm, I was a prosecutor, a public defender. Then I was a municipal court judge for many years in Hoboken, and a juvenile court official. And the second career is as a criminologist and as a professor. So 2 lifetimes in one.
You know what's fascinating to me, Ross, is I think about justice studies, if you will. You talk about it. It means a lot of different things to different people.
Right.
You know, criminal justice area, and we were talking about this before we got on the air. There are careers right now in probation, correction, homeland securities. There are courses right now in terrorism, cyber crime, global security. How much of this is a product of this expansion, and we'll talk about more opportunities. How much of this is a product of post 9/11?
Yeah. A lot of it is, especially in the federal area. We all know that 9/11 changed things, and we realized that we had to integrate resources and create new federal resources, and it goes all the way down to the local police department, where we have strategy sessions and new ways of approaching problems.
Give me a concrete example of that.
Well, for example, in Homeland Security, what was the major outcome of the Commission's report on 9/11?
You're talking about the 9/11 Commission with Governor Kane.
And
Lee Hamilton.
A brilliant job, by the way. And it fundamentally changed the kind of competitive nature of
FBI not talking to the CIA, not talking to other agencies, not cooperating, sharing.
Maybe there was good reason at one time to keep those firewalls, but now the type of information sharing all the way down to the local level is extensive, and every single police department has been transformed that way.
But how does it impact, talking about the work you're doing at Berkeley, in terms of curriculum and careers?
Well, specifically, there was a time when justice studies, preparation for a position in policing was kind of narrow. People would think about local policing and have a job there. But now we know that the market has changed quite a bit.
What do you mean?
Well, it's much more competitive to begin with, as a result of the economy. And everybody needs a competitive advantage, and they also need to understand opportunities that go beyond the local level. So what we try to do with our students is prepare them for that much wider job market. Federal jobs, we're talking about all justice related programs, probation, community service, within the court system, court administration. So when a student comes in to our program, what we try to do is emphasize core competencies, reading skills, and I'm talking about spelling, I'm talking about grammar, I mean good communication skills.
People talking about law enforcement, you're talking about spelling.
I'm talking about job preparedness. And that's what we try to do. We take a student from day one,
right,
bring them along wherever they start from. People start from different levels.
Right.
High schools are good or bad, and we know that they're both. But we bring them along to a point where they are ready for a job in terms of their core competencies, their substantive knowledge, and their scope of their job search. So, there's so many different types of positions. Hopefully, we'll marry a person's talents and their interests with their job. And when you have that, then you have a good life.
What kind of jobs are they getting out of there?
Well, it's a full range of jobs. We have people directly into traditional law enforcement. We have people in probation. We also have quite a number of students who are interested in law and different types of law applications. Also in court administrations. So It's quite a wide variety.
Before I let you out of here, I'm curious about this. Are people coming back, Doctor, from other careers and saying, hey, now I want to go into this justice area, this law enforcement area?
Well, I find particularly at night, we have a day program and a night program and an online program, and that's exactly what the idea is. Justice studies, it's just such an interesting area to get into. People find themselves maybe at a dead-end job. They're interested in exploring, what else can I do with my life? And so this provides people, we also have Army veterans quite a bit, but people who have jobs, they can do it on their own terms and graduate and become qualified for.
You have to customize and have opportunities
Yes.
for all kinds of folks. Probation, correction, homeland security, criminal justice, law enforcement, courses in terrorism, cybercrime, global security. Dr. Ross London, Professor of Justice at Berkeley College. I want to thank you for joining us, Ross. Appreciate it.
Good being here.
One-on-One continues right after this break. Thank you very much.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by the New Jersey Education Association, working for great public schools for every child, and by Wells Fargo. Promotional support provided by NJ Biz, All Business, All New Jersey, and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and its monthly magazine, New Jersey Business. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.